what we have today. If you have any videos, as you guys already know, if you have any videos that are interesting that you want me to react to, you can send them to the Telegram link that will be in the description. As long as they're not, career Islamophobes and not long videos, just like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, something around that. Please send it to the Telegram link and I will have a look at it. And if it's interesting, then I'm going to comment on it. But today I wanted to comment on this very interesting, first, a few videos, but this very interesting video by this YouTuber in the UK. His name is Nico, I think. And he made a brilliant video about the Tommy Robinson kind of protest that happened in the UK, about immigration, about Islam, of course, as well, right? So I wanted to react to it to show the people a little bit of, his conversations with the people who were attending these protests, and let's comment on it from a Muslim perspective because they talk about us. Obviously, they talk about Muslims, and there is a huge amount of Muslims living in the UK. So let's see what these people who are protesting, what do they have to say about us as Muslims in the UK?
To fuck off.
Exactly, every single one of them.
Every single fucking one of them. I think Islam should be banned.
Oh, I agree with that. Now you're talking sense now.
Islam should be fucking banned.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Who?
So now, okay, so this is the first thing now. What do we see here? We see this lovely lady, to say the least. She's saying that all Muslims need to respectfully I'm not going to repeat her because the video is going to be full of insults like this. But she says Islam should be banned. And I really want to understand what goes on in the mind of these people when they say such a state. Imagine going to a Muslim, a random Muslim in the street, and then he says Christianity should be banned or Hinduism should be banned. What does that even mean? How do you ban a religion? What's more of an idiotic statement is that? So, okay, how are you going to implement that? So you're going to go to the government now, and then the government is going to release Islam is banned. What does that even mean? Like, Islam is a religion. You have a scripture, the Quran, and you have the Hadith, the prophetic tradition, and then people will apply this religion in their life. Now, what do you mean if you have? Do you mean to force the Muslims that are practicing their own religion and their own faith not to practice the religion and faith? Is that what you say? Or what do you mean? How do you, when you are entering the country, say, how many percent Islam are you before you enter the country? Oh, I'm 20% Islam, so we're gonna ban you from entering the country. So these are the minds of the people. Look, and they're saying these things like it doesn't matter. Like they're saying it like this, like they're drinking water, like they're not saying anything wrong. And these are the people that go to protests like this. Of course, it's organized by Tommy Robinson, which is not even his real name, as all of you already know. It's a fake name out of 20 other fake names. And this coward, he never ever agreed to any discussion with the Muslims. He just goes on other platforms, talks about Islam without any knowledge. I saw one post on Twitter that he made. Prophet Muhammad, he's trying to insult Prophet Muhammad and say Prophet Muhammad is a misogynist, which he doesn't even know what the word means. The word means to hate women. And then he lists a few things, and then the first thing he says, he married 4 wives. Of course, Prophet Muhammad married more than 4 wives. So the information, the basic information that a baby knows about Islam, he doesn't even know, and he's claimed to be an expert in Islam and wrote a book about it. But then he says Prophet Muhammad is a misogynist because he married multiple women. So Prophet Muhammad hates women, so he married more than one woman.
Do you happen to need supplies for your...
What kind of logic is that? So that's the type of individual that goes and really organizes these types of rallies, and these are the type of individuals that attend. And he comes and he talks about Islam, and he says to the people, oh, there's no racism here, there's no Islamophobia. They are, falsely accusing us of that. And you see people like this talking about Muslims in that way. If this is not Islamophobia, I don't even know what Islamophobia is. If you say ban Islam, if all of them, if that is not Islamophobia, then I don't know. I think we should remove this word from the dictionary. Anyways, let's continue seeing some of these clips and what these people have to say.
I think there's 900 mosques in Leicester.
Oh, absolutely outrageous. And how many blacks are there in Leicester? Black people. Oh, yeah, as in what? Oh, yeah, that's the word. Sorry. Yeah. There's millions of them. I'm so glad that you're using the right terminology as well.
No, I'm speechless, honestly. What can I say about what this guy's saying? I'm like speechless. Like at first says there's 900 mosques in Leicester, and it's only like 35 mosques in Leicester. This guy says there's 900 mosques in Leicester. Bro, what planet are you living on? And here's the problem. This is the type of misinformation these people are spreading. Then he asked him about black people, and then he instantly uses the N-word. Like, these people think it's cool to do that. He thinks now, oh, look how cool I am. Look how modern I am. You know, these are the type of people who are going to these protests. And again, they'll say, oh, they're falsely accusing us of being Islamophobes. They're falsely accusing us of being racist. But look at the language. Explicit. Look at the statements they're making.
It's our streets and we're taking them back.
No, please, fucking Muslims, fucking.
Yeah. What was
No,
that?
Muslims in the place.
Are all of them Muslims?
MPs and Muslims.
They're all of them, every
I
one.
don't want them in here.
Oh, they're...
All with the beers and going on and all that shit. And they're all fucking screaming.
Hey, are they?
Yeah, I hate them all.
You've just made a flipping discovery.
They're all fucking Muslims. Fucking hate a lot of them, man.
Oh, same, mate.
I mean, I've got no problem with anyone.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with anyone.
This man has cracked the code.
Look at this person. Look at this person. He says, I've got no problem with anyone, right? I've got no issues with anyone. But if all of them... Like, I mean, like, I look at this person with a big, huge belly walking with a beer, drinking alcohol. This is the typical dude that is walking in this protest. And if you look at around you in the camera, you see that most of them are like this. This is not just like a one-off situation. That this is what these people are in reality. And then he says, oh, all the Muslims or all the police officers in the UK, the Metropolitan Police or all the police officers in the UK are Muslims. What kind of nonsense is this? You go to the government website, of course, it will tell you that 91% or 91 to 92% of them are Caucasians, of the police officers in the UK. This guy comes and says all of them are Muslims. And then this is the funny part. Let's compare. If it's true that a majority of the police force in the UK are Muslims, is that a bad thing or a good thing? He talks about their beard as if the beard has anything to do with being good or a bad person. So, okay, if they are actually the overwhelming majority of the police force, is that a good, positive thing or is it a bad thing? It's a positive thing. That means they are productive people in the society, contributing to the safety of individuals and protection of them. And they're actually offering their lives. So someone like you can continue drinking alcohol and grow his belly like he's a pregnant woman. So those Muslims are in the police force, protecting people, saving them and risking their lives. And you're coming over here, effing all of them and complaining.
I'll just take the legs out of them, chuck them off a boat and swim.
Yeah, but I get that, but obviously you just said...
So here he says chuck them off the boat. He's talking about the boat, right? So throw all the immigrants off the boat. But now look what he's about.
You know, if you start, you pay someone to shoot them all on the beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you don't get rid of the bodies.
Yeah.
You just keep shooting them after a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them, take a picture, send it back home, and they'll think twice about coming back.
Wow, true patriotism.
I mean, like, what can I say at this point? Look at the mentality of these people. And they talk about Muslims, how barbaric they are out there. They want to, like, unalive everyone. And look at what this guy's saying. Look at what these individuals are saying. He's saying, bring a weapon on the beach where the immigrants are coming, unalive all of them, and leave them there, and send pictures to people, whoever is planning on coming. Look at this mentality. And this is not a joke. This is a very dangerous mentality. And this is not one-off person. You'll hear multiple of them. And he displayed multiple examples of people who are saying the same thing. Talking about actually unaliving other individuals, people. It's not just let's preach something that we believe in. These people are talking about violence. And we're going to show why and who's like leading them to that. We've already mentioned an example, which is Tommy Robinson. And all of it, there's multiple attacks that are happening. They're cowardly attacks happening in the last few months and the last few weeks and last few days. They have people being attacked. And they will do cowardly attacks. They'll attack old people, they'll attack women, or they will ambush someone. That's the only way they do these things. So these protests, they turn into real life violence. They're not just a joke, It's not just like something that for fun and jokes. So displaying these people's mentality is a very important thing. This is a disease in the United Kingdom that needs to be resolved. People like these that are spreading the hateful ideology should be held accountable. And people like this that freely say things like that should also be held accountable. This is in the end gonna transition into what they're saying. We're not at the point of saying, oh, this is gonna turn into violence in the future. We're not at the point anymore. It's literally turning into violence. And you have individuals like this who explicitly tell you that they're going to do the violence. I mean, what else do you expect? This is a very serious thing. So this mentality of F them all, ban them, like it turns in the end into violence. Now I want you to flip the script and imagine you have a Muslim on the screen saying the same thing. You know, bring a weapon, unalive all the people, and he's saying the same exact thing like this. And he's walking in the streets of Britain. What's going to happen? He's going to be locked up the next day. It's going to be all over the news because they will lock him up with the acts of tea and all of this stuff. They're going to lock him up next day just for saying a statement like this one, which is horrendous, which nobody should be saying. But you have individuals like this freely walking and saying this nonsense, and nobody's holding them accountable. It's insane, honestly. Now here there is a very funny example of the IQ of these individuals, their level of intelligence, and why they're easily manipulated into being in protests like this. Why they can say such ridiculous statements. These are the type of people who are going to these protests. Let's listen to this prime example.
What do we do now?
Send them all back.
Every one of them?
Yeah.
So he says send all the immigrants back. This is his plan. Send millions of people in the country who are, according to the other guy, all the police basically. So send all the police forces outside of the UK and everyone else who's doing functional jobs, like all the people in the NHS, the National Health Service, the people that are cooking you food, the people are there, all of these people, just shut them all off. This is the amazing solution of this. Another full belly pregnant dude. Let's hear what he has to say.
You know, 85% of Muslims have taken all our jobs. You know that? Yeah. And that's the thing I love when people believe false facts. You know, there's been a survey. I don't know if you read it. You look like you read the news. 99% of the Muslims said they want to take over the country.
Yeah,
you read that?
Yeah.
Because that's what the thing is. That when false facts just get said to you and you just back it like that, it's just mental, mate. It's just like straight waffle. You are the king waffler.
I mean, like he's literally telling him these are false facts, and the guy's just like, yeah, this is the IQ of these people. And look at his shirt. In Tommy We Trust. I mean, what else? I mean, these guys do the job for us. We don't really need to do anything at this point as Muslims.
You are the king waffler.
Their government and their law and that, they're not helping us. They're not protecting us.
They're not.
Helping us.
You know how many Muslims have come into the country since 2019? 200 million, mate.
Yeah.
You read that?
Unbelieve it.
Yeah.
Unbelieve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
200 million, mate.
Yeah.
That's absolutely mental. They're ready to wage war with us. Did you read that one?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's insane. Like, I mean, honestly, it's mind blowing. And this video is essential and brilliant. And I think everyone should watch it 100%. And big shout out to this YouTuber because he's like showing people the IQ of these individuals. The guy doesn't even know the population of his country. He doesn't even know it's 69 million. And he's telling him 200 million came since 2019. So in 6 years, 200 million people came. And this guy's like, yeah. Yeah, what? And this is the problem. This is why, like he says on his shirt, right? And Tommy We Trust. Tommy goes on the stage and he waffles and sends all of these false facts, facts in quotation marks, which he just made up on the spot. So he keeps waffling this nonsense and people are like, yeah, you're right. And they're buying this narrative because this is their IQ. They can't even read. They can't even process information. It's insane. Anyways, let's look at one last clip.
Oh, they call us racist for wanting all the blacks and the Muslims gone.
I love bacon. I love black pudding. Bring on the full fucking English breakfast. I want bacon. Hot, streaky bacon.
Yeah.
Fucking smoked bacon.
That's what we...
Fucking mindless bacon.
Yeah.
Just give me bacon.
So please someone give this woman bacon, man, because at this point, like this is the gist of this entire protest, right? A woman wants bacon and some beer on the side. No, let's see. It's insane, honestly. I can't even imagine people like this, level of low IQ and ignorance. You can't even imagine it. It's insane. It's mind blowing.
Can I ask you a question, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favourite immigrant?
I've got a favourite immigrant.
That's the right answer. What's your least favourite, though?
I've got one. Oh, Islam.
Islam, yeah, that's a good immigrant.
If you're not Islam, fuck out of the country.
So he says, what's your favorite immigrant? And she says she doesn't know. And then he says, least favorite immigrant. She says Islam. like Islam is an immigrant. And then she says, if you're not Islam, then F of the country. What the heck does that even mean? What kind of people are these, honestly? Are these actually real human beings, or what the hell is that? And by the way, he asked someone else in the video, what's your favorite immigrant? And then he said an unalive immigrant. This is not a joke.
What's your favourite immigrant?
Good one.
This type of rhetoric is so dangerous that I'm telling you, is being carried out with all of these recent incidents that are happening. So some action needs to take place. You cannot just allow people with this such dangerous mentality to continue.
Every fucking pound, 76 pence out of every pound goes to Islamic hotels.
How did you know all this stuff? Who teaches
Because I
you?
watch everything, I'm very fucking knowledgeable.
So wait, how many Muslims are there in the country?
There's about 14,000.
See, he asks her how many Muslims are in the country, and she says 14,000 Muslims. It's insane. They know nothing, basically. They don't know. They have no clue. They don't know. They don't even read their own stats of the country. You know, you have the UK census, which tells you the UK and Wales is 6.4%. I think it's the last census in the UK, the population of Muslims in the UK and Wales. You don't even read the stats. This is 14,000. And if they are 14,000, why are you complaining about it? There are hundreds of thousands of immigrants that are from Europe that are living in the Middle East. Millions. You're worried about 14,000 in the UK out of 69 million or 70 million people. It's insane, honestly.
And they're breeding like fucking rabbits.
There's 14,000 in the country.
Yeah,
That's
and
absolutely
English
outrageous.
women, English women, shut up.
It's funny, like the guy's trying to tell her there's a lot more Muslims, and then she just tells him to shut up.
14,000
Yeah,
Muslims
do you
here.
know Queenie Hopkins?
But wait, there's 14,000
Anyways,
Muslims in the
anyways.
country.
No,
There's
Islams.
14,000 Islams in the whole country.
I mean, like, there's 14,000 Islams in the country. Like, honestly, like, guys, I can't watch any of this anymore, to be honest. I mean, I can't. Like, I can't watch this with a straight face anymore. Like, what is this? 14,000. One says ban Islam, and the other says there's 14,000 Islams in the country. This is the mentality of these people, honestly. And you know, the dangerous part is that you have in this so-called protest, you have this Elon Musk, the Zionist puppet, that is being bought and sold by them. And he appears on the screen. And listen to what he says, actually. Let me play what he says because it's very important.
Some magical words.
Violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die.
Did you hear these words? Violence is coming to you. It's either you fight back or you die. Imagine this type of rhetoric being given, I'm not going to say to educated people, because if you're an educated person, then you understand this is a bunch of nonsense, because you can check the facts, you can check the incidents, the attacks, anything that happens in the Metropolitan Police reports, and you can see if there's any violence that is coming to you. And you can track in the last 20, 30 years and who is doing the violence. But this guy goes to people like this who want to ban Islam and they want to eat bacon. And he gives them this ideology. And he tells them violence is coming to you and you fight back. He is promoting violence.
If you want to
Clearly. And they said like there's 100,000 people that attended this, according to the Metropolitan Police. My advice is that as Muslims, you need to be careful. You need to defend yourself. You need to be together in communities, not far away from each other, but you need to be together. You need to support each other, protect one another. So what we need to do, because at this point, they are like promoting actual unaliving of people. Like, I mean, what can people do at this point? And this is exactly what they want. This is exactly the plan of the Zionist movement. What do they want? They want to turn the eyes away from Gaza and the genocide that is happening. So in America, they did what they did with the Kirk situation, so they can turn the left on the right, and they have all of these people, you know, unaliving each other and attacking each other and busy with one another. And they do the same thing in the UK. Focus on the immigrant, focus on the Muslims. And they think, you know what, if all the immigrants are gone, all our problems are going to be fixed. Or are they just a bunch of belly pregnant men drinking alcohol? And they think they're going to change the situation if the immigrants are not there, who are actually holding the country together, participating in NHS, participating in police force, participating in all of these things. So it's a very dangerous mentality. And like I said, it's very important that we are even more cautious as Muslims, and we need to fight back this nonsense. And I'm not talking about fighting back with physical force. I'm talking about educating individuals, telling people, trying our best to remove these misconceptions that people are having. I mean, that is the only thing that we have in our hands at this point. All right, so let's see what we have next.
Is the Quran so divine that no one is able to replicate it? This is a concept known as i'jaz, or inimitability, in which the Quran's style is so unique, so unprecedented, that no one is able to make anything like the Quran. And although there are many apocryphal stories of people trying and failing, ultimately being amazed at its style, the Quran does admit there are people who are also unimpressed by its divine eloquence, such as in 831. قد سمعنا لو نشاء لقلنا مثل هذا إن هذا إلا أساطير الأولين. Of course, the Quran disagrees, but that's all that ever can be, because any discussion about i'jaz is going to be an opinion-fueled one, where...
Now, so this is the thing. This person starts by saying, can the Quran be replicated? And this is where this person is like falling into all of this, false premise. He starts with the false premise. And because he starts with the false premise, I'm sure he's going to end up with a faulty conclusion. And just because he learned how to read a little bit of Arabic, which clearly he doesn't understand, he thinks that now he's an expert on the topic and he's going to teach us and tell us. And he calls the Quran, we heard the verses of the Quran. If we wish, we will say something like it. This is only Asian fairy tales. So they're not referring there to the composition of the Quran. They're not referring to the composition of the Quran. They are referring to the stories within the Quran. And the person who said this, if you go to the tafsir and the exegesis of the Quran, you'll see that they will tell you that this is in reference to someone who's called An-Nadr ibn al-Harith. He used to go to Persia, and he used to hear Persian stories, and then he came to the people and says, oh, you heard the stories of Prophet Muhammad, because the Quran has stories about previous prophets. He says, I can do the same thing, I can tell you. And then he tells them stories that he heard in Persia. He's not there talking about the miraculous composition of the Quran and bringing a similar composition to it. And now where this person falls short, where his whole argument kind of falls short, and the false premise that he starts with as well, on top of that, is he says the Quran cannot be replicated. Replicating is bringing something that is the same word for word. Quran doesn't tell you that. Quran doesn't challenge you to copy it word for word. The Quran doesn't tell you to bring the same structure and give me the same structure with different words. The Quran doesn't tell you that. That's copying, my friend. That's plagiarism. The Quran doesn't tell you to plagiarize it. That's not a challenge. You can bring a 10-year-old child and they can plagiarize the Quran. What's so unique about that? The Quran tells you to imitate it. Imitating and replicating is not the same thing. Imitating is to take the model of the Quran as an example and simulate it and bring something like it. Not to copy it word for word. So you are starting with two false premises. The false premise about the replication, not imitation. And like I said, I'm sure you're going to continue that false premise and make many blunders. The second thing you're doing is you're referring to a verse in the Quran that talks about stories. But even if it doesn't talk about stories, even if it talks about actually imitating the Quran, then where is the imitation? Produces the imitation of the Quran.
Giving value judgments to different texts, and those value judgments are based off of our own subjective experiences. And so what the style of the Quran is, if there even is one style over the 23 years it was made, and what it means to imitate that style are also going to be opinions. Is it the words? Is it the grammar? Is it the order of the words? Is it the rhetorical force? You'll find that it's a meaningless discussion based off of people's own subjective view.
Now, of course, that is a bunch of nonsense, right? So you're asking, what is the challenge of the Quran? Go to someone who's educated. He's going to teach you what the challenge of the Quran is. And he says, is it the words, is it the composition? It's all of that, of course. If I say bring something like the Quran, imitate the Quran, then you have to look at the model of the Quran. So you investigate the Quran, you look at its usage, the words, the combination, you look at all of these things. And you take that as a model, and then you bring something like it. You simulate it, you bring something like it. Something unique of your own, not copying it. Something like it. That is the challenge of the Quran. So what does that mean in simple words for people like you? What does that mean? By the way, there are books written on that. And I mentioned the book before multiple times. It's called Al-Mu'jiza. إعادة قراءة الإعجاز اللغوي في القرآن الكريم. And it's available in the Arabic language that presents to you the objective methodology of what it means to imitate the challenge of the Quran. And it goes through the chapters and it shows you the miraculous parts, the miraculous usages in the chapter. And then it tells you this is what the challenge means. So part one explains to you what the challenge means. And part two is an actual implementation where it goes through the chapters and shows you how each chapter fits that objective.